Hey Virgo, welcome to Get Life 333 Tarot. My name is Jackie. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm going to be doing a You're Not Together But You Don't Feel Finished spread. And I'm doing this, first of all, I did the last 2 weeks of March, first 2 weeks in April already. But I'm doing this because of the Pluto and South Node influence that we have coming up. And that's going to be requiring us to really go through our stuff, you know, our shit, to get rid of what we don't need anymore and hold on to what we do need. So definitely getting that a lot of you guys are in weird spaces in your relationships. Not sure if it's totally over. It's definitely over. How do you feel about it? So I just thought it'd be interesting to do this kind of spread, and really the intention here is to just spark some thoughts, some thinking about your relationship and your situation and things that happen. This is not a reading at all if you've been in a very narcissistic relationship, if you've been with somebody who is overtly shitty to you, they have a drug addiction, a drinking problem, if they're pathological liars, if you know, that archetype of that classic narcissist. This is not for you. You can't fix that. You can't mitigate that. And honestly, I'm really not in support of any beautiful soul being with somebody like that. I've been in those relationships before. I've been in one, and it was harsh. It's harsh, very harsh reality to live, for sure. So that's really not what I'm covering here. This is for people who were in pretty significant relationship. There's no timeline on it, obviously, but where things didn't work out and you're not together anymore, and you're just not sure you're gonna get back together. You know, that weird stage that all relationships go through post breakup, you know, especially if you've gotten back together a bunch of times before. You're just not really quite sure, is this really it, is this not really it? And so let's just take a look. Obviously, guys, these are going to be general messages. So, you know, please keep that in mind as we go through. Take what resonates, throw out the rest. And if you're not resonating with your sun sign, I strongly encourage you to check out, you know, your Venus and then Moon. Venus being love and Moon being emotion. So this would be very relevant right now if you guys aren't getting the messages you need from this. Oh, and for you cross watchers, I do want to say that Scorpio and Pisces readings, I had an issue with the audio. I'm really, really sorry. I plan on, once I finish doing all the other signs, I'm going to do 2 bonus reads. And that's only if I stop getting so many horrible, horrible negative comments about it. It was a mistake, and I didn't realize until after I posted that the audio was very low. You could still hear it if you put headphones on, but the audio is definitely an issue, and I really apologize, and it was a mistake that for me to post it before checking, but the messages are so solid, I didn't want to have to go back and redo them because the messages that somebody needs to hear. So so many of the people who watched them were kind, and so many were really not, which I don't really understand that. But anyway, so Virgo, your crowning energy of challenge is the card to imagine, okay? So this is your challenge right now. So let's talk about that for a second. You know, illusions and wishful thinking rooted in a sense of lack have definitely entered your life, and this is a time calling for you to use your imagination and open up your mind and your heart, even though this is a time of pain, to manifest what it is that you know you really need and want. You know, it's you're in a place right now where you're very caught in daydreams more than in reality regarding love and relationships. And you're probably in a space too that suggests to me that you're really kind of laying back, that even though your relationship ended with this person and you by all rights can move forward and meet someone else, you're in this place of not wanting to relate. Therefore, you can't have a relationship. And this is this is your challenge right now. You know, you need to get really clear on, you know, what it means to you to be successful in a relationship. And you have to really focus on what that means and what that looks like, because this indicates like illusions and wishful thinking are just really kind of getting in your way, you know? And your inability to move forward is rooted in the fact that you think everything else moving forward is going to end up the same way. And that might have even been an issue in the relationship that we're discussing here, that your issues from the past, you may have brought them into this relationship with you. Oh, these are things that could be felt with this card. And then your partner has milk and honey as their challenge. So here, this is like a nameless unease is compelling them to turn towards something, some escape, some alternative path to ease what's really going on. I mean, I have to call it what it is. Straight out of the gate, that's what I'm getting. Yeah. And it's going to bring them temporary relief in the moment, but it's going to end up exhausting them. Yeah. They're going to get to a point where they're just going to need to surrender in whatever the situation is. They're going to get to a point where they need to realize that they're actually not loving themselves by doing what they're doing. And this is the challenge that they're faced with right now. All right, so let's get into your cards here. So here we have the Queen of Wands to start you off. This is the vice versa deck, by the way, in these first two rows. So you got to a point of just needing silence, Virgo. Yeah, you felt very twisted in your inner world and just really needing a space to think everything through. Like life became too loud, and really, you guys, you know, Virgo's the Hermit card. Not that this is not the Hermit card, but Virgo's the Hermit card, which is the card of introspection, like the ultimate introspection. You guys are... Introspection for a Virgo is a form of survival. You know? Yeah, and that makes sense to me, because then we have the Magician, and because you're moving into this energy, and this says that you felt or are still feeling, because this is a major arcana, you're still feeling the weight of something on you, something very heavy, Virgo. You feel something, yeah, like something that's trying to push through, something new that's pushing through, but you're just not sure if it's the right thing, if you should let something new in. You're just not sure on how to move forward. You realize that this is going to take some serious thinking, not only about what's happened in the relationship that we're discussing here, past relationships. That's kind of the easy part, actually, because that's just a matter of looking at the facts of what happened. Even though it's through your perception, you're still going to deal with the facts. The hard part here is thinking through your willingness to do this anymore, is what I'm getting. You're just really not sure if you're up to that task. As strongly as you feel about this person, you just don't know if you could do it. You're just not sure. And we have the Sun that says whatever you're doing, however you're handling this, Virgo, it's the right way. The universe promises you success with this energy. And this is a major arcana, so this is long-term blessing here, is what I'm getting. Yeah. Yeah, and then we have, moving forward here, we have this two of Wands. So you realize that you have to make a choice, just emotionally and in a very practical way. In your inner world, you need to make a choice. And what this energy is asking you to think about is what helps you in your life. What makes you feel good? What do you feel compliments you? What do you think supports you? Makes you feel good? And at the same time, this energy is asking you to try to identify what's blocking you, what's holding you back. And you need to focus on the positive and get rid of the negative. And what does that even mean? That means looking at the negative, these blocks. Are the blocks coming from yourself, or the blocks coming from an outside source? You know, just to be able to identify that. But you need to focus on what these negatives are long enough for you to be able to unpack them in a realistic and honest way, so that you can take the lesson out of it and throw out the rest and move forward. into opportunities that are right in front of you. Because either way, whichever path, it's going to be different than where you've been. You can't escape that. There's no escaping it, especially in the season that we're coming up to. This is a season of change. This is the season of karma, retribution, karmic paybacks. The change is happening. You can't escape it, you know. And then we have the King of Wands in Virgo. This is time to really, really, really express your ideas and be the individual that you are, you know. Because what you do in this energy right now, this is going to reflect your truth. But Virgo, don't let perfectionism get in the way of your choices right now. You guys are so concerned about being... You guys are perfectionists, right? You guys know that. If you guys... I know you know that, so I don't even want to labor that point. But just try not to let that get in your way. Because you are perfect just the way you are. And I'm being called to ask you, like, did somebody make you feel like you were less than? Like you weren't perfect? Because you are. Because you are. And I feel that maybe you're working through that psychology within yourself. You know, really trying to get in touch with, you know, what your partner has said about you or implied or insinuated, or even things that were said in the heat of an argument that made you feel less than, you know. But this is a time to really just be free to be you, you know. Don't sacrifice any part of you. I feel like you did. I feel like maybe you sacrificed a part of yourself for this relationship, and you're realizing this now, and you're trying to figure out a way back from that. And then we have the Six of Pentacles. You've been feeling very supported right now by family and friends around you. On a very mundane level, this can be money coming in for you that can actually change the way you're able to work your everyday life, which is nice. But regardless, whether it's money or it could just be increased health, this could also be that you have an increase in your emotional state, that you finally kind of coming out of the fog of it all, you know, that post-relationship fog that we all go into. And you're going to start to feel very connected with your life. You know, that's what this is indicating here. Now let's talk about your partner for a minute. So here we have the Empress, okay? So your partner was in a place of feeling that something abundant was coming to them. You know, that things were coming their way, that they had felt this desire, this very strong desire to grow their life. And they were, as cliche as this sounds, they were feeling called for something. It could be, maybe they were being called for a job that required relocating or crazy hours or something like this. You know, but for some of you, it'll just be a feeling where they were just not feeling right about your relationship. Just not feeling right that... And I know this sounds so harsh, but please just understand, it's whatever energy's coming through, I have to deliver it. That they felt like they weren't going to feel fulfilled in the long term with you, you know, in the big picture. And they felt like happy with you in the moment, in the day. They were fine to go through whatever struggles you were going through, but they didn't see themselves being happy with you long term. This is a message for some of you, you know. Yeah, but then we have the Fool card, but this is the thing. They really have no idea what that even means, right? They feel willing to go down this path, knowing for them it will be better than where they've been in their mind. And they're being guided by their intuition right now. But the issue here is this Temperance energy, which indicates a warning that they're somehow sacrificing themselves and what's best for them to a path that they consider to be higher or better than where they've been. But the energy here suggests that it's not going to be for their ultimate good. So, confusing. You know, whenever I see something like this, I feel like, you know, Virgo, were they blaming you for their feeling of lack? Were they looking outside of themselves instead of inside of themselves and using outside of themselves as a reason for them not being able to grow? I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe, you know, Virgo, you know, let's be honest with ourselves, right? Maybe you were being really demanding in certain ways, or something where they felt like you weren't going to be growing with them, and they felt this need to do this. Okay, and then we have another Empress card. Like, that's crazy, but except this one is reversed. So here they were feeling, they were feeling that your relationship created blocks for them, creating an inability to move forward. Yeah. For whatever reason, Virgo, they didn't feel a peace of mind. You know, this indicates a controlling and disruptive, demanding influence that got in their way, in their mind, of them being able to move forward. Now, guys, I have to give this caveat. What I'm saying about your partner could be you, and what I said about you could be your partner. In general tarot readings, the energy could easily be flipped when you're tapping into energies that are very closely aligned. So please apply this as it apply, you know, as you see fit, okay? So I do have to say that. All right, and then we have moving forward, the Six of Swords reverse. So this indicates that they moved away from the situation in a very passive-aggressive way. Like, first, emotionally, where they were like emotionally pulling away from you. And maybe as a way of you saying, all right, I've had enough, and maybe you ended it, or they finally got the nerve up to end it. But whatever it is, there's this moving away. Pushing away, moving away. Either way, this says that there was a moving away for a period, just for peace, away from the drama, away from complication. But because this is a major arcana, and it doesn't have, we don't have the Chariot or the Death card, you know, on the table right now, I'm getting that it's temporary. I don't know. From them, they're feeling that it's temporary. This is not for you. This is their feeling that it's temporary. So their intention was to kind of go away and maybe gain some experiences, do some things, you know, stretch their legs, you know, yeah, just gain some experiences, and then maybe go back to you, only because I am getting a very temporary feeling from that. And then we have the Ace of Wands here. So the thing is this, as far as they're concerned, this energy overrules any negative minor arcanas that are nearby, and that would be a negative. That Six of Swords reverse would be a negative energy. So this says, you know, new beginnings and starting a family. Now this is how they're feeling. Okay, because Virgo, I have to tell you, I'm not getting the feeling. I have to pull some more cards. I'm not pulling qualifiers for all the signs because I don't need to, but I need to pull some qualifiers for this, because I know they're moving ahead to a happy place, but I don't know if it's with you. I'm sorry or not sorry. It depends on like where you're at in the space of this story, you know, but I feel the need. I gotta pull cards to get some answers here. Pull a couple of cards for you. Oh yeah, a couple of cards for them. Okay. All right, Three of Wands. Communication problems, misunderstandings. You feel isolated, Virgo. Something happened here. Something happened in this full process, moving away process. You feel very isolated. Yes. Death reverse, all right? You're feeling very anxious over the end of this breakup. See, the thing is with the Death card, with relationships, though, it doesn't have to be permanent. I actually don't think the Death or Tower are always permanent. I just don't think so. Because I think if people do resolve to save something and they have the will, you know, if the will is there, miracles can happen, I believe. But that's, you know, but I have to read it as the energy that it is. The relationship is over, and this is like the fact that it's reversed, it's amplified. Like you are feeling an incredible pain and anxiety from this. Incredible. This Three of Swords reverse indicates upheaval, drama, but it does indicate that there are conversations happening. So I feel like whatever happened, it was not even done on the down low at this point, or it came out, right? This secret came out. This Tower does indicate a secret coming out. Yeah. And the Tower, it's like shattered ego, beyond your control, vulnerable, confused. This energy requires just this acceptance and this new awareness in the light of whatever's come out. Because something came out. Someone did something. Some secret came out. Absolutely. And this requires letting go of past patterns of how you guys got along. In other words, if you were in a space where you would break up and get back together and break up and get back together, no more of that. If you were in a space where your partner did things and you were very accepting and you let them get away with murder, no more of that. Or vice versa. If you were doing stuff and they allowed you to get away with it, no more of that. There's no more of that. And for some of you, this does indicate a very strong physical or emotional attraction to someone. And that attraction to this outside person can definitely be an issue here. So maybe that was the secret. It doesn't have to be, but that could be. And because these are qualifiers, I feel like these can absolutely be flip-flopped. But the idea here is, Virgo, we're going to pull the yes-no card for you guys, you know, where I'm going to have you ask the question 3 times. Am I? And then you will indicate your partner's name. Going to get back together, or are we going to stay broken up? However you ask it, it just has to be consistent. I'm not going to pull a yes/no card. I just want to say beforehand, okay, this can really go either way. But one thing is for sure, there is no way that you guys are going to be anything like you were before. There's not going to be any semblance of what you guys had before. Between the Death reverse and the Tower card, it is done. It's dead. So if you guys revisit your relationship, it's going to be under a whole new set of circumstances, under a completely new set of everything. And I do want to say that Virgo, we have Jupiter. Jupiter is going to be retrograde in your 4th house going into April. And that's the home, the house of home, of family, of parent, of family, of being a unit, okay? The family unit. That feeling of family that we have with someone. So this would include people we live with. This would include people, obviously, that we're married to, we're just in a really close relationship with. And Jupiter's going to be in there restructuring everything. Now, this could go a couple of ways, and Virgo, I have to say it. Your partner may have completely just broken this apart so that they could be with someone new. That is absolutely a message here. And that this is going to be the restructuring of their life in that way, okay? And you're going to be in a place of acceptance, or this could be vice versa. You know, you could be the one breaking it apart. Or you guys are, like I said, going to completely figure it out and just approach it from a whole new way. And guys, that's so possible. It really is. It's so possible. As long as there's good communication. It's not a secret. There's really no secret involved in it. The hard part about getting relationships back together is a question of willingness. It's not a question of are we able? Of course you're able, if you're both equally willing. And that's the question, you know. But for now, the question's going to be however you choose to ask it. Am I, and put in your partner's name, going to get back together, or are we going to stay broken up? Ask it either way, but ask it the same way each time, 3 times. I'll give you guys a second. However you ask the question, that is a big yes. Okay, so if you ask if you guys are going to get back together, absolutely. If you guys are going to stay broken up, if that's how you asked it, absolutely. This is a very, this is a definitive card, guys, because it's a major arcana, it's upright, and it's a yes card. So it has like the triple threat covered. Guys, listen, if you're rebuilding, communication. If you guys love each other and you want it to work, it's going to. You just have to be patient with the process and let Jupiter do her thing in that house of home and family. Let her do her thing with you. She's going to be there to help you. So this is a very emotional reading for sure. There's a lot here, but I love the ending. Yeah. Virgo, that's what I have for you today. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.